devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Pradeep Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, you can start reading Prabhuji with prayers.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Today we are reading 10th canto, the Samam Bonam, 60th chapter. Lord Krishna teases Queen Rukmini from text 31 to 45. Text 31. The greatest pleasure worldly householders can enjoy at home is to spend time joking with their beloved wives, my dear timid and temperamental one. Text 32. Sukadev Goswami said, O King, Queen Vaidarbhi was fully pacified by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and understood that his words had been spoken in jest. Thus gave up her fear that her beloved would reject her. Text 33. Smiling bashfully as she cast charming, affectionate glances upon the face of the Lord, the best of males, Rukmini spoke the following, O descendant of Bharata. Text 34. Sri Rukmini said, actually, what you have said is true, O lotus-eyed one. I am indeed unsuitable for the Almighty Personality of Godhead. What comparison is there between that Supreme God, who is the master of the three primal deities and who delights in his own glory, and myself, a woman of mundane qualities whose feet are grasped by fools? Text 35. Yes, my lord Urukrama, you lay down within the ocean as if afraid of the material modes, and thus in pure consciousness you appear within the heart as a super soul. You are always battling against the foolish material senses, and indeed even your servants reject the privilege of royal domination, which leads of blindness of ignorance. Text 36. Your movements, inscrutable even for sages who relish the honey of your lotus feet, are certainly incomprehensible for human beings who behave like animals. And just as your activities are transcendental, O all powerful Lord, so too are those of your followers. Text 37. You possess nothing because there is nothing beyond you. Even the great enjoyers of tribute, Brahma and other demigods pay tribute to you. Those who are blinded by their wealth and absorbed in gratifying their senses do not recognize you in the form of death. But to the gods, the enjoyers of tribute, you are the most dear as they are as they are to you. Text 38. You are the embodiment of all human goals and yourself the final aim of life. Desiring to attain you, O all powerful Lord, intelligent persons abandon everything. It is they who are worthy of your association, not men and women absorbed in pleasure and grief resulting from their mundane lust. Text 39. Knowing that great sages who have renounced their sannyasis danda proclaim your glories, that you are the supreme soul of the worlds, and that you are so gracious that you give away even your own self. I chose you as my husband, rejecting Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the rulers of the heaven, whose aspirations are all frustrated by the force of time which is born from your eyebrows. What interest then could I have in any other suitors? Text 40. My lord, a lion drives away lesser animals to claim his proper tribute. You drove off the assembled kings with the resounding twang of your sharinga bow and then claimed me, your fair share. Thus it is sheer foolishness, my dear Gadagraja, for you to say you took shelter in the ocean out of the fear of those kings. Text 41. Wanting your association, the best of kings, Anga, Vainya, Jayanta, Nahusha, Gaya, and others abandoned their absolute sovereignty and entered the forest to seek you out. How could those kings suffer frustration in this world, O lotus-eyed one? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Pradeep Prabhuji, for reading the answers today. Hare Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Roji, for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm audible. If someone can confirm.
Yes, Prabhu, yeah, we hear you now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Roji. Let me offer my prayer before we discuss this section. It's very beautiful realization of Queen Rukmani. So we'll discuss. So let me offer my prayer. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयत्गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम् परमानंद माधवम श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Pradeep Prabhu, for reading the translation today. So, in this section, so far what we have seen in this chapter, yesterday, Krishna Venu Prabhuji explained pretty beautifully how Krishna is teasing Mother Rukmani. So we have seen so far like Krishna was relaxing in the palace of Queen Rukmani, and then he is enjoying the personal services provided by the Rukmani ji and also her maid servant. And he was in a playful mood. He was trying to, tease Rukmani to see her romantic anger expression. And then in the text 10 to 20, Krishna presented several arguments, and he's trying to prove that Rukmani, my dear Rukmani, you made a poor choice to marry me. So he has given several arguments like he is not wealthy like other kings like Shishupal, Jarasandh, or many other kings who came to marry you. But you marry me, even though I'm not equal in wealth with like a Shishupal, I'm not equal in beauty, but you choose a pauper and you rejected the other opulent king. And then he also claimed himself that he, out of scare of Jarasandha, he left Mathura and then he took a shelter in the ocean. And he also showcased that he's unpredictable person. He's very uncertain, and he's only dear to the paupers who are beggar. He wealthy do not respect him or do not relate to him, and he's completely devoid of all good qualities. He has mentioned many statements, and now today's section, Rukmani Devi is going to reinterpret all those statements, and she is gonna tell us the real meaning of all those statements. So after hearing all this, what we saw yesterday, like Rukmani ji fainted, become unconscious, collapsed to the floor, and then later Krishna pacify her out of love, and then that he mentioned that do not angry with me. I was just saying all these things out of jest, so nothing. You should not take it seriously. So in text 31 to 33 in the today's section, start today. So today's section is full of lot of purports given by the um, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and a lot of commentaries are given by the our Acharya like Sridhar Swami and then Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. So our discussion will be completely focused on the purport because it's very meaningful, very good lessons we can learn from the purport. So I'll completely read out the purport and trying to explain the best lessons what we can take away from here. So in text 31 to 33, um, so Lord Krishna notes that Lord Krishna is saying that it's a greatest pleasure for worldly householder can enjoy at home is to spend time joking with her beloved wives. And here Krishna is calling Rukmani Devi as a Bhamini, or temperamental one. The Bhamini indicates, and the purport says, like it's an angry, passionate, or temperamental woman. Since loving Rukmani did not become angry despite all kind of provocation. So Krishna tried to provoke her, but she did not show any kind of anger because she was so simple in heart that she felt like he's telling everything realistic. And as Prabhuji mentioned yesterday, Krishna and Rukmani at that age matured it like because at that time they have their grandsons also. So Rukmani Devi was not able to understand, Mother Rukmani was not able to understand why Krishna is saying those things. And because she's so simple, humble in heart, because she's full of love for Krishna. She is full of love for Krishna, so she could not tolerate those things, and that she become unconscious. But she did never showed any kind of anger there. So, but when Lord has pacified her, she understood like he was jokingly, and then from text 32, now Sukadeva Goswami is telling now Queen Vedarbhi, when fully pacified by the Krishna, and she understood why he was doing that, the intent behind that, all these statements. Then she gave up the fear because she had a fear. That's why she got unconscious. So she gave up the fear, and that Krishna is not gonna reject her. Now, from text 33, it's mentioned now Rukmani um, she cast charming and affectionate glance upon the Krishna, and then she spoke as follows to the Lord Krishna. So text 34, now we'll see how Rukmani respond to each and every statement of the Krishna. But in the text 32, 33, what we can learn, like the simplicity of Rukmani Devi. Because so Rukmini Devi's simplicity and humility reveals the depth of her love for Krishna. And that tells us, it's a lesson for us that how a devotee can purchase Krishna out of love and simplicity, humility, all these traits, all these good qualities, how devotee can purchase Krishna. We have the similar incident, like, similar personality, what we can relate to Rukmini ji, like with the Gadadhar Pandit in the Chaitanya Leela, Gadadhar Pandit also showing the as a great example. He was, despite being criticized by Lord Chaitanya in multiple occasions, he simply maintained the simplicity. He simply maintained his intense desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Gadadhar Pandit realized that Mahaprabhu is none other than the Krishna himself. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He never retaliate in any of the occasion, and because his heart was uh, full of love for Mahaprabhu and bereft of the false ego. And he understand that all these incident is happening with him. Mahaprabhu is rejecting him, Mahaprabhu is criticizing him, all is happening, all these trials are happening because it's a blessing in disguise, because Mahaprabhu is trying to test him. And he's trying to purify him. He's trying to purify his heart so that he can deepen his devotion further. And then eventually Mahaprabhu embrace him. So similarly here, Rukmani Devi has shown her simplicity, and she should not reflect any kind of anger in this whole situation, even though Krishna has mentioned too many things in this pastime. In the text 34, now we'll see, now Rukmani Devi said, actually, what you have said is true, O lotus-eyed one. I am indeed unsuitable for Almighty Personality of Godhead. Because Krishna, in the text 11, Krishna mentioned, why you choose us who are not equal to you. So now Rukmini Devi is reinterpreting this statement. She's saying, yeah, I'm agree that I'm not equal to you. We are not equal because no one can be equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the absolute truth. How can I be equal to the you? I am just a mundane woman. So now Rukmini Devi is saying here, showing the extreme humility, and then she's showcasing the Krishna position as he's a master. He's a master because if she's saying you're a master, you're a controller of even the three deities like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. She's calling herself a mundane woman, and she interpreted that. So she shows here that how she's reflecting her deep spiritual vision here. So in the purport. So she is trying to respond to the text 11 statement of Krishna here. And then text 35, now she is responding to the text 12, where Krishna is saying, I took the shelter in the ocean by the fear of Jarasandha and other enemies. So here Rukmini Devi is saying, yeah, you took shelter of the ocean because you took the shelter out of your causeless mercy. You took the shelter of the heart of the every living being, in the ocean of the heart of the every living being, to protect them from the material modes of the nature and then sense gratification. So here Rukmini Devi is saying uh, that uh, she's pointing out that actual ruler of this world are the three gunas, the material modes of nature, which impels all living being to act. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur pointed out that because Lord Krishna feared that his devotee will come under the influence of the modes of material nature and they will become entangled into the sense gratification, to protect the devotee, protect all the living beings, what Lord does, he enter into the internal ocean of their heart so that he can remain present like a super soul there, and so that he can protect his devotee. So Lord is the real protector. Lord is an object of meditation of his devotee. Further, in the purport is mentioned that Supreme Lord has taken up the battle against the sense gratification on the part of his devotee, and thus he can constantly trying to help them so that he can avoid their struggle and so that they can perform their spiritual duties. When the devotee became free of unwanted material habits, Lord reveals himself to them. Haribol. So Lord will only reveal to the devotee when the devotee is pure, devotee is completely purified from all his material desire and material habits, and he is completely devoted to the service of the Lord. He can devoid of all the sense gratification. And then in the here Krishna in the text 12 also mentioned that I renounce the royal throne. Correct. So now Rukmani Devi is pointing out here that this material position and power, what all the political leaders are having, it corrupts one. And even your pure devotees shy away to take those kind of high material positions. So what to talk about you, my Supreme Lord? So definitely everything belongs to you. You did not renounce anything, but you don't want to showcase because so that you can give the lesson to your devotees how to act. In the text 36, now Rukmini Devi is replying to the text 13 answers. Text 13. Now Krishna is saying, my behavior is very uncertain, and I pursue a path not approved, which is not approved. So now Rukmini Devi is saying, yeah, I understand. Because you are a Supreme Lord, your activities are transcendental, which are very hard to understand for any ordinary living being. So in simple word, if you say like Krishna is saying, like my ways are very strange and unpredictable, and the worldly people judge everything. And then Rukmini Devi is saying like all the worldly people are judge everything about you from the ordinary mindset, from animalistic point of view. Because those people who are engaged in the sense gratification, they are only caring about eating, mating, defending, and sleeping, and all their comfort. They don't think about anything else. They cannot understand your spiritual nature. What to talk about ordinary men? even the great sages are not able to understand your glory. They are still trying to understand your glory even after doing that much austerity, that much service to you. So they can't understand your activity. So what to talk about the ordinary living being? In the text 37, now um, Krishna is saying, no, I don't have any material possession, and I am only dear to the beggars or pauper. Wealthy people hardly worship me. So here, Rukmini Devi is saying that you possess nothing. So here the word is called Nishkinchana. So this we have a very big purport here, and I think it's a very beautiful purport. I would recommend, if devotee you get a chance today, please read this purport. So here Acharyas has explained the explanation of the Nishkinchana word, and then they also explain the conception of God as an absolute truth. There are a lot of beautiful points. I'll try to capture a few points here from this purport today. So what Rukmini Devi is saying, possess nothing means you are everything. Everything exists within you. You are the absolute truth. Absolute truth is higher than the supreme, because supreme, when we say supreme, Brahma is supreme. So supreme means a person having a control of something, just a controller. But absolute means you are a creator, you are a maintainer, you are an annihilator. And even though creation exists within you, nothing exists outside of you. So that means that Nishkinchana does not mean that you do not have any kind of opulences, but you have all opulences. Everything exists within you. So um, here, so conception of one important point from the report. Conception of God indicates the controller, whereas the conception of absolute truth indicates the Samman Brahman, the ultimate source of all energy. Supreme being may merely be understood as the best or greatest of all being, but not as the very source of all other being, as we mentioned. So here, Prabhupada says the Lord Krishna is not merely a supreme being; he is an absolute being. That is the exactly point Rukmini Devi is making here. That Nishkinchana indicates that Krishna possesses all the opulences. And then Krishna says in the text 14 that Nishkinchana Janapriya, I am dear to the pauper. So now Rukmini Devi is replying that, yeah, you that the demigod, the wealthiest souls in the universe, regularly making offering to the Supreme Lord. So what we can understand when Krishna says, I'm dear to the pauper, so we need to understand the definitely Krishna is dear to those who understand their real self, their real identity, that nothing belongs to us, the pure devotee, Paramahansa stage. When person comes to the Paramahansa stage, he understands his real identity, that everything, all energy, everything, all opulences belongs to Krishna, and we also belongs to Krishna. And if I belongs to Krishna and everything belongs to Krishna, so I'm the pauper. And then he'll start loving the Krishna because he realizes true identity, that is my goal of my life, to serve the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's why wealthy people, it's very difficult for wealthy people who do not realize their real self. They may not able to devote their life to Krishna. They may not able to serve to Krishna. They may not able to um, worship Krishna. But a pauper means a paramahansa, a realized devotee who know what is the true meaning of the life, what is the purpose of the life, is the serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then that person will, for that person, Krishna will be the dearest one. And then there is an analogy given when when one worship the Ganges river, then what he does, he offer the Ganges water back to the same thing, back to the Ganges. Similarly, child gets the money from his father on the father's birthday and buy him a gift. So what lesson we can learn, that God does not need our expensive gift. So if we are wealthy, we think, oh, we are doing that much donation, oh, we are serving the God in that way. No, if we are coming that mindset, oh, we are giving something. No, if we are giving in the mindset of we are serving the Lord for service, if that service attitude is there, then it's okay. So because God is not hungry for any of our expensive gift, he has everything. He has all opulences. He already owns the universe. So he only looks our love behind. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So he's looking for our intention of our serving, what we intend, what we feel about serving to the Lord. That intention God, Lord is looking. So he's not looking our wealth and anything. So in the text 38, there are many good points I can't cover because of the lack of the time. But in text 38, now Rukmini Devi is replying to the text 15. So here, um, Krishna said that you should have married, Rukmini, you should have married to a rich king like Jarasandha, Shishupala. But now Rukmini Devi is replying, um, um, look, so Krishna said actual in the word like marriage should occur between those equal in wealth, birth, and fame. Now Rukmini Devi is replying, material equality is irrelevant. Yeah, like we need to be equal in status, external beauty, wealth, etc. Because mundane relationship are driven by the lust, and spiritual relationship lift our soul so that we can come out of the entanglement of birth and death life cycle. And true compatibility sit in the spirituality, because all the material attachments are temporary in nature, um, and the devotion is the supreme. Devotion to supreme is the permanent thing. So in the text 13, the what big lesson we can take, so we should not, if we make a relationship based on the look, physical look, money and opulences, that will be not permanent, it will be factual, it will fluctuate easily. But if we anchor our life and our relationship uh, on a spiritual platform, then that will bring definitely a genuine stability in our life, and bring peace in our life, and everlasting peace we can achieve by this, by spiritual advancement. So in text 39, now in text 39, now Krishna is saying, in text 16, it's a response to the text 16, where Krishna says, I am glorified by the beggar. Now, but Queen Rukmini is point out, so-called beggars are actually sages in the Paramahansa stage of life. Sannyasi who have also given up their sannyas danda, sannyasi rod. So and then Krishna also said that, my dear Vaidharvi, you were not aware of the situation because you looked the foresight. So Rukmani is really saying in that response, I choose you as my husband because you possess the all the good qualities, all the opulences. It was not that I was blind in my choice. She passed over. So now Rukmani passed over the lesser personality like Brahma, Shiva, and other great personality, the ruler of heaven like Indra, because she knew that these great personality are frustrated by the powerful waves of time, because they are also under the influence of the Lord energy. Uh, but uh, but but you, my Lord, you are controller of that time. So here, Rashila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur interprets the Rukmani mood that, my dear husband, your accusation that I lack foresight indicate that you did not know of my deep insight into the situation. I choose you because I know your glory. So in text 40, now it's a response to the text 12. So now Krishna has mentioned in the text 12, Rajabhyo bibhayato subrahu. Like I was the terrified of those king, and that's why I took shelter to the ocean. So now here Acharya is telling like Lord Krishna finally provoked Rukmani's anger here by glorifying other men who might have been her husband, and in an agitated mood she here tells him that she is not ignorant, but rather that he has spoken is foolishly, you have spoken foolishly, because Krishna said that I ran away to Dwarka out of fear. But now Rukmani Devi is saying you roared like a lion, and when you twanged your bow, and after that everyone is scared there. All the enemies kings were scared with the sound of your bow, and then you carried me away in front of everyone, all those kings. How can you claim that you are afraid? That's what the mood of the Rukmani Devi. There's little anger in her voice. And at that time, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also saying that when Queen Rukmani spoke these words, she frowned and cast angry sidelong glance at the Lord. In the text 41, now Rukmani Devi is responding to the Lord Krishna, what Lord Krishna has claimed in text 13, that that Lord Krishna says, like, women who follow my path generally suffer. And now Rukmani Devi says, why should those fixed on your path in this path suffer in this world? She gave an example of many great kings, many renounced kings like King Anga, Vanya, Jayanta, King Nahusa. They also renounced their powerful kingdom, and they entered to the forest to perform the austerity, to worship you, intensely desiring your association. And then how can you say they were full? I don't think so. They were full. They found the true fulfillment to renounce all their kingdom, and then to perform the austerity to serve you. So what we can learn from this, that giving up the material luxury for a higher purpose is not a sacrifice. It's an upgrade it's an upgrade to our life. Because true happiness comes from the inner connection, when we have the inner connection established with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are a lot of things, points. I'm not sure what to skip, what to take, but there are many important points here. So in the text 42, now Krishna is saying, I have no good qualities. But now Rukmani Devi is saying, you are the Gunalay. Your glory of your lotus feet are sung by the sages. What you're talking about, that you have no good qualities. Your lotus feet provide the liberation, and Lakshmi is taking a shelter of your lotus feet. All the surrendered soul are getting the fragrance of your lotus feet, and they are getting liberated by that fragrance only. And then Krishna also said that you should marry other kings. So now Rukmani is saying, other kings are all the mortal men. They are also in the fear of birth, death, old age, and disease. So why should I choose them? Because they are always in the anxiety of thinking what will happen next. But I love a person, I chosen a person who is beyond all those anxieties, who has a body of Sachidananda body, who is always blissful, always eternal, full of knowledge. So that is what my choice is. So Queen Rukmani argues here, how could any sane and enlightened woman take shelter of anyone but the Supreme Lord Krishna? So in the text 43, now Rukmani Devi is saying, because you are suitable for me, that's why I have chosen you, the master and super soul of all the world, who fulfill our desire in the life and next in the next life also. May your feet, which give freedom from the illusion, give shelter to me, who have been wandering from one material situation to another material situation. So in the text 43, uh, so what we can understand, the soul is in the long journey. We have taken many birth prior. We have many material relationship in the prior in our life, and we have in the current life also. But the true spiritual connection puts an end to this life cycle, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. And then whatever in the material world we have feeling of restlessness, always feeling lost, so those all feeling will eradicate when we'll take the shelter to the lotus feet of the Lord. Because as a souls we are taking every time birth, we are entangled in this life cycle. And that why we are getting the birth, we will think about it, why this another birth. Then we'll get to know that Supreme Lord is so merciful. He is giving us one another opportunity, so that we can, at least in this life, we can devote that life in the service of our Supreme Father, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. It's another opportunity for all of us. I'm actually talking to myself, so that we can we can perform a pure devotional service, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead, and we can end our end our wandering by our spiritual enlightenment. Because our soul is wandering in many births we took, and many deaths, many relationships we established in our past, present, and we may, if we do not sincerely take our spiritual life, we may wander in future also. But that's a lesson. We can end this long journey in this current life itself, if we will dedicate our life for in a spiritual enlightenment. And then text 44, Now, text 44, now Rukmani Devi is saying, by now Acharya Sridhar Swami is saying, like, now Rukmani is little angry. Now she's pointing her index finger at the Lord that you are comparing so-called great princes. So now here, um, uh, so in this verse, text 44, let each of the king you named become the husband of a woman, now Rukmani Devi is replying, whose ears have never heard your glories, which are sung in the assemblies of Shiva and Brahmaji. So Krishna's glories are sung in the assembly of the Brahmaji and Shiva. And now Rukmani Devi is saying, all those kings, what you named, they should get married to those women who never heard your glory. After all, in the household of such women, these kings are like asses, ox, dogs, cat, and slaves. So Rukmani Devi is comparing that all those uh, kings are like oxes because they are always distressed while performing their occupational duty. She's comparing those kings like a dog because their wives disrespect them. She's comparing those kings like a cats because they are very selfish and cruel, and slaves because they are always serving their family affairs. Even Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives some different meaning. He's saying like kings are like asses because their wives sometimes kick them. They are kings. Those kings are like Jarasandha, and other kings are like dogs because they behave inimically towards outsider in order to protect their home. Those kings are like a cat because they eat the remnant left by their wives. So in the final verse, text 45, now Rukmani Devi is saying, a woman who failed to relish the fragrance of the honey of your lotus feet become totally befooled, and thus she accept as her husband or lower or lover a living compressed of skin, bones, flesh of body. She's trying to say. So now, so in simple word, what we can understand, a person who misses out on a spiritual love, ending up falling up in a love with a temporary bag of a bone, blood, skin, stool, a body, a temporary body, a material person. He fall in love with a material person. But we need to understand that true beauty is spiritual, not a physical. True beauty is sitting in the heart of a person, not in the material appearance. So um, Shri Krishna is the Rukmini Devi is saying Shri Krishna is the real husband for all the women at all times. And Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur comments here that Rukmani thus consider that although the sweetness of Lord Krishna's lotus feet is well known, and he possesses an eternal body full of knowledge and bliss. So how foolish woman? So only who can reject a person who has a Sachidanand body? Only foolish women will reject him. And those who have no practical experience, of the beauty and purity of the Krishna or Krishna consciousness may be confused, and those women will reject Krishna. But those who are enlightened in Krishna consciousness will relish the presence of Krishna, will enliven that moment, will enliven that personality. So here, Rukmini Devi is realizing the difference between the physical body and the soul within. So I'd like to pause here. And sorry for my mistake for going beyond the time. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Forgive me for any of my mistake as your humble servant. Panchakalpataru Vriksha Kripa Sindhu Adevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnebhyo Namo Namo. But yeah, this section is very beautiful. I would like if you guys, if you get some time, please read the purport. It's very beautiful purport. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.